There is video footage of a karate instructor who got shot in the head.
Where the kicks at? Where the pains? Where the holes? Where the throws? You know what I'm saying?
I think this was back in like 86. This was in the 80s. This has been all around the internet. And Tommy finally did a story on it. And I thought that this was old news, but I guess it apparently is not. So what was I saying? All right, so what happened was the karate instructor. Well, first, let's roll the clip.
Doucette, a karate instructor, had abducted 11-year-old Jody Plauché several weeks earlier and taken him to California. When Jody was rescued and returned to his family, his father Gary was coping with reports that Doucette had sexually assaulted his son. 10 days later, when the police flew Doucette back to face trial, Gary Plauché was waiting with a gun.
Gary, why? Gary, why? And to this day, it stands out in my mind, the shooter, Gary Plauché, says, if it had been your child, you would have done the same thing too.
All right, what happened was the karate instructor
was a bastard that decided to pretend to be the wife's friend.
He pretended to be the kid's friend. The kid thought that the karate instructor was really his friend,
Right.
because that was his teacher. But it happened, and according to what Tommy said on his channel, it happened because the father and the wife split up. So as soon as the father was out of the house, the karate instructor was able to worm his way into the family and get real close to the kid. And it was like the kid actually thought of it as like a relationship, friendship, even though he was preying on the boy, molesting the boy. And it was to the point where he took the boy across state lines to molest him. He had him in a hotel room. He let the boy call his mother. That's how they found him, and the cops arrested him. But he got shot. He was in police custody, so there wasn't really any other thing that the father could do if he wanted to get to him, but walk up and shoot him in the head when he got off the plane. And the thing I was saying is, I was on a discussion board about this, and everybody on the discussion board was saying, yeah, we're all, yeah, kill him, right? Glad he's dead. But the boy, who is now a man, logged on the discussion board and said, I wish my father hadn't killed him because I didn't get to see my dad. Because he had to go away to jail and stuff like that for a while. So, I mean, he still ended up in jail. He ultimately got probation, but he still was in jail for a while. So he's like, I lost my dad for that amount of time. And then my dad still had to be watched by the cops and stuff like that. And he said when he was little, he really didn't understand, even though he was 12, he felt like his father had killed his friend.
Right.
So he really didn't get it. But of course, once he grew up and everything, he was like, he don't blame his father. He's not mad at his dad for doing that.
That guy's a bastard.
Right. But he's like, I understand how you feel. I know how you feel. He was like, I know how I would feel, but really it's best not to do that.
Shit.
Well, okay, you can find out who the person is that was the victim, and you can go argue with him. That's what the victim said. The victim doesn't think that the predator should have been murdered. I guess he thinks he just should have went to jail for it and not be allowed to do it again. I mean, I think if you do something like that and you're convicted, you should get life because you mess up that other person's life. So you should get life. So, but I still know how I would feel if I was a father, though. See, them people like that, they bring shame on the game and the martial arts, straight up. And it's still going on. If you go to Google and type in, just go to Google, type in martial arts instructor, Taekwondo instructor, instructor, guilty. Really, the best thing to type is karate instructor, because how people like to think everything is karate. That'll pull up everything. If you type in karate instructor, hit enter, you're gonna get like it'll say like somebody won this, somebody did that, somebody's doing this for the community, predator. Somebody did this, somebody did that, somebody won that, predator. It's gonna be like that. You're gonna get a predator hit probably on the first page. even if you do karate instructor where you live at. Because you have people that join youth sports or join these type of activities so they can prey on other people. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. That's why the good thing about the community centers is we have to go through a background check in order to be able to teach there. And the first thing they scan for is they scan for what they scan for? Pedophilia and drugs. When I got that, when they interviewed me at Temple Hills, I told them in the interview, they were saying, we're going to run your background check. I said, I don't do drugs and I ain't molest nobody. They started laughing. I said, that's what you checking for? What else would you check for? But it was still like this. That's funny, Mr. Washington. Okay, you can get the job. But that's what they checking for. They checking the, they run those background checks to see if you're a sex offender. There was a guy that, he got around it by opening up a storefront. And I'm not saying that all storefront people are bad. That's just a one bad apple. But he got around it. He opened up a storefront. And he was teaching BJJ out of a storefront. But he got caught. Somebody caught him. I don't know how they caught him. I guess they just Googled him. They caught him. And he was supposed to register as a sex offender when he came to Maryland. He's supposed to register as a sex offender. He didn't. He was not supposed to be around kids. They caught him, and then they got him. It took him a minute, but they caught him. They caught him. Anyway, what you say?
Sad.
I know. Well, back to the video, actually. I mean, if you want to know what I think about that, come on, man. He's bringing shame on the game. That's like a total lack of integrity. That's a total lack of integrity. That's a total lack of integrity, Taekwondo tenant. Definitely no self-control, Taekwondo tenant. Definitely no courtesy, Taekwondo tenant. No mutual welfare benefit, Judo slogan. It's just evil. And, like I was saying with my son here, the victim may feel like jail is enough, but I understand how the father feels as a parent. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. And peace.